This week on Another Movie Podcast, we talk about the bombshell that hit the DC universe.
We talk about the fact that maybe some big-name Avengers are coming to television.
And I tell you why I left dirty and disgusted myself after leaving a cinema.
Oh.
And it did not have a red light in front of it.
That makes it worse.
Welcome back to Not Another Movie Podcast. I am Sean Pierce.
And I am Sean Kelly.
And it has been a long time since we've rock and rolled. We did attempt to record a show last week, but due to technical issues, it wasn't good enough to broadcast. So that becomes one of the mythos for all the podcast fans. Ooh,
the lost episode.
The lost episode of Not Another Movie Podcast. So they're going to scrounge and hack your computer to see if they could try and get that file and bring it back to life.
As long as they're okay with my other proclivities, they can hack my computer.
Yeah, there's some shit on there nobody needs to see. And as
how's you been?
I've been quite well. I'm refreshed and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
But as I said off the top of the intro, there is something I need to discuss. I went to the movies not long ago, and I left the cinema feeling so disgusted in myself that I should have known a hell of a lot better. And I went and watched the fucking Predator film.
Whoa, we're talking the Predator, not the fucking Predator, because that's a different kind of movie.
That's the porn parody.
Yeah.
But,
and it was terrible.
Oh, this film is horrendously bad.
No.
Shane Black, you should be disgusted in yourself.
So more disgusted than he should be more disgusted than you. When you're the one who left the cinema in a dirty state?
Exactly.
Is this that?
Okay. Exactly. He should be feeling a lot worse. And look, this is the part I don't understand, because generally how movies are made is that there's a really good script, the script is handed to producers take it to a studio to get financed, they say, yep, this is going to be good, the people over there do the numbers based on the script, yep, we need this much budget and we'll get this much return. How many chains of the fucking link did it go up and everyone said, yeah, this is good, this is a real winner? The problem with this film is that the script at the base is so damn bad, and the story and the premise is so damn bad that I'm completely stumped on how this film got made.
I'm really impressed with your optimism. After all that we've been through, you still have faith in the filmmaking process.
See, that's why I'm disgusted with myself, because I should know a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
We said when the first trailer came out that this looked like another bad 90s action film. And I said, I'll wait till reviews to make my mind up if I was going to see it. And then you sent me a link to this new trailer that had a completely different tone to it. And it had more of a comedy edge, more lighter edge. So I'm like, you know what? That didn't look that bad. And even though it was still sitting at 37% in Rotten Tomatoes, I'm like, you know what? I might still go see this.
Give it a crack.
And I walked out, I was wrong. I was really wrong to go and see this film. I had a choice of seeing that or the new Sicario film, and I picked the Predator, and that's why I'm so disgusted in myself.
I'm sorry for you, man. I mean, like I said, I'm impressed at you because I wasn't even gonna try it, but you know what? You're too good for this world.
No, it is. It's
Shane
true.
Black doesn't deserve you.
No, I 100% agree with you. He's dead to me now.
It's done. Yeah. What a fall from grace, that man.
A massive fall from grace. All right, well, let's kick into the movie news, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
All right, this week, a trailer dropped that you and I have both been so excited to see. Last week, they said they were going to drop something huge and break the internet, and they only released photos of Captain Marvel. This week, though, they dropped a teaser trailer for the film, and I've got to say, I'm really impressed and super stoked to see this one.
Yeah, I thought I went in with a bit of trepidation because the Captain Marvel, like I said, we've been highly anticipating the Captain Marvel trailer, but I'm super psyched. And can I just say, Marvel is on their game with their de-aging technology because Nick Fury looks amazing.
Yeah, even Agent Coulson looks amazing.
Yeah.
We got a brief look at him. But I just loved how the trailer was set up. Like, we know already that the film is set in the 90s. And the fact that she crashes through a Blockbuster video, I thought was so damn cool. So, as I said, they set the tone early on this one. It has had some critics, though, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some people weren't happy that she never smiled in the whole trailer.
Okay,
Jesus Christ, you've got to pick at something. Some people were disappointed that she hit that old lady in the trailer. I'm like, come on, man, we've seen 2 minutes of probably a 2.5-hour film. Give it a break.
And
Give
there are
us some
two
air to
options
breathe.
here. There are 2 options with her hitting this old woman. Number 1, the old woman is a Skrull, and therefore her hitting her is completely justified. Number 2, she clocks an old woman, and that is pretty hilarious. So that's okay too. So either way, this is fine.
We don't condone hitting old ladies either.
No,
so
of course not.
Yeah, even for comedy reasons.
Yeah, okay, yes. Fair enough.
Yes, but
all of our geriatric audience out there. All right, we don't want to alienate you.
I agree. But yeah, the Skrulls look really cool.
Yep.
We got our first look at Jude Law. He looked really cool. We got a quick flash of Ronan the Destroyer when he's basically a good guy, because I'm assuming that all these guys are part of a team, and somehow they get dismembered later on when we hit the 2000s and present day films.
Well, do you want to hear my theory?
I would love to hear your theory.
So the Skrulls have infiltrated the Nova Corps at this point, I think, and that's why at the beginning of and like Jude Law is the bad guy, or a bad guy, not the bad guy. We know that's Mendelsohn, and that's why at the beginning of the film, like Carol Danvers has worked this out, and that's why at the beginning of the film she lands on Earth, because she's just had like a big battle to try and all that stuff we see of her in her cool helmet getup.
Yeah.
Is the preamble to her getting knocked down to Earth. And then she's got to sort of find her way. So she's part of the Nova Corps, but she knows that's been infiltrated, and she's on Earth, but she's a fish out of water there as well. So she's got to try to, where does her allegiances lie and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm super psyched. I think it looks great.
Well, I'm also keen to see how they play with the flashbacks that we see in this trailer. Obviously, it looks like that she, obviously spent a lot of time on Earth. We see her, through her childhood, teenage years, and then she becomes a pilot in the Air Force. So how does it go from that, where she ends up in space? I'm not sure, but I'm really excited to find out.
Well, it kind of gives a hint of that in the trailer as well. We see her, I think, during her training with the Air Force, because we see her getting hit by, cosmic energy while she's wearing her uniform. So I say they've gone down, which I think is the original way it happened in the comics as well, but I'm no expert. Like the Green Lantern route, out on military maneuvers, run into crashed alien ship, and that's how that's where the connection is made. So, yeah, I kind of do get the criticism that she seems very kind of sad in the trailer, but that's because that's the tone of that trailer. It's not going to be the tone of the entire film.
Well, let's hope so. And thank you for spoiling that whole middle section of the film.
It's in the trailer. It's literally in the trailer.
But I didn't put those pieces together, so now you've spoiled it.
I'm sorry, mate. I thought you'd watch it 10 times.
I watched it 3 times.
And look, it might not be true. I don't know. And the other part of the trailer that gave me chills is when it has those flashes of her standing up as a child and then as a cadet, and then in the air. Yes, it's going to be so great.
I don't know if they found 3 different actresses that kind of basically look the same, or they use some kind of the de-aging technology. But as you said, when she stands up and you get those different faces of her growing up, they all look the same. So that was super impressive.
Well done, Marvel.
Yes.
If
well
nothing
done.
else comes out of the cinematic universe, we're going to have digital actors in the future.
This is true. Yeah. Well, as I said, Marvel looks like they've got their shit together on that one. But over at DC, the shit just hit the fan. Literally hit the fan. The news
and
came
hit the
out.
fans as well.
Exactly.
With 4 people.
It turns out, now as I said, I don't know if this is true or not, because there's been a bit of backflipping here and there, that Henry Cavill's stint as Superman has possibly come to an end.
Boom, boom, death knell.
The story goes is that the Hollywood Reporter reports that Cavill will no longer play Superman after negotiations in the new Shazam film broke down due to scheduling conflicts. Now, I've had a look at his IMDb. He doesn't have much on the horizon, so I don't know if that's the case. For 2-3 days' work, yes, fair enough, he probably needs to get back in shape to be Superman, but they can fix that in post-production. They do everything in post-production.
They're too scared about doing anything in post-production now.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Moustache Gate.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's unclear whether this cameo in Shazam will still happen. Are they going to replace Henry Cavill in time? I severely doubt it. But that's basically where we're at the moment.
If they do get rid of him, and I know there's been some, as you say, some backflipping, his agent has come out and said Literally, that the cape is still in the closet, meaning that he hasn't jumped off board of the project yet. But if they get rid of Cavill, everything that's good about that series is gone. Because Man of Steel, I didn't hate as much as many other people, but Cavill was definitely the standout. And if they could just actually write Superman in a Superman movie, he would be the perfect choice. And the other issue is that apparently if he goes, the reporting is that Ben Affleck is out as well.
Yeah.
And if they lose those two, then what have they got left? I mean, Gal Gadot is an amazing Wonder Woman. So I assume she'd still be around. But if those two guys leave, then we might as well just start fresh.
Yeah, I agree. The story with Ben Affleck goes is that he has had a lapse in his rehab in regards to his drinking and partying. The insurance premiums for Warner Brothers to pay for have Ben Affleck in a film will be too high for them to justify, considering the low box office returns, hence why he might not be our Batman.
Yeah. A lot of speculation also as to why Ben Affleck has unfortunately fallen off the wagon, and I just know that he just watched Batman vs. Superman. Like, it's pretty clear.
I knew that was coming. I knew as a DC hater, you'd be there twiddling your thumbs in pure glee at the moment.
No. In sincerity, though, I do hope Ben Affleck, because I'm a big fan, I do hope he recovers well. But
Yes.
The sooner he gets out of this train wreck, the better for him and for all of us.
Well, I'm still not sold on this story. I still think there's a lot to play out, but it was too big of a story to sit on and wait for it. So hence why we're talking about it now. But one good thing that has come out of DC in the last 24 hours, and I woke up this morning with a massive boner after seeing this, is that we've got a teaser or a taste of Joaquin Phoenix in his Joker makeup. And I got to say, I am super impressed.
Yeah, it's really lo-fi. Like, I was really interested to see how they go. They had, like, Ledger's Joker on the one hand is just kind of washed out. Like, he never even really takes the makeup off. Just, it's there. And then you've got, on the other hand, you've got, what's-his-face's Joker, which, I don't know, like the Juggalo Joker. And this is kind of like Pagliacci, actual carnival Joker or something.
Yes. So he's basically gone back to basics.
Yeah.
He's basically a circus clown look for this Joker. Now, they've only come out and said that this is a makeup test, so it could possibly be that he is just a clown in a circus. There were set photos released last week where there was another clown, so it's a good chance it's possibly just that. But in saying that, I actually hope it is. I hope this is the look that we're going to get.
My theory is that this is makeup that he wears before the transition that will inspire his look afterward. Because, I don't know, is this going to be a Joker who falls in a vat? Like, is this going to be a Joker who's actually scarred by chemical burns? Or is this a Joker who just has the makeup kind of like Ledger's Joker?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We don't know.
But I agree with you. I like the lo-fi look, even if this was his final form. I know that some people are kind of shitting on it because it literally looks like a guy who's just painted his face like a clown. But Joaquin Phoenix, man, can make it work and make that look engaging and charismatic. So if they go with this, I'm happy. And it shows that they're actually thinking about the character and making some interesting decisions.
Yes, I'm all in on this one. I think this looks great. And I can't wait to see more of it, to be honest.
All right, I'm just writing that quote down. I'm all in on this. Sean Pierce, September 2018. So when it comes out, we can revisit.
Yes, and when I see it, I'm like, fuck Joaquin Phoenix and that Joker clown look. Fuck that guy, and fuck Todd Phillips, and fuck Warner Brothers.
I've got to say, though, like Henry Cavill and like Ben Affleck, if the movie fails, it's not going to be because of the strength of the lead actor.
No, I agree. They've had the talent there, they just have not put it to use with a great script. And that's coming back to my Predator hate. Fuck you, Shane Black.
Although, was there talent there?
No, there wasn't actually. You're right.
And as you say, everything I've heard about the script itself is that it's terrible, and he wrote it, so maybe the talent wasn't there to begin with.
And again, fuck you, Shane Black. Give me those 2 hours back that I wasted on you.
Oh, Shane. Poor Shane.
Disney are jumping out of all streaming services at the moment because they are about to launch their new one of their own, and they are going to have some massive Marvel properties on there, which includes, drumroll please, a possible TV spin-off show featuring Loki and another one featuring the Scarlet Witch.
And including the actors of those respective characters, not newbies they're just bringing in.
Now, I gotta say, that is news to my ear. I think that is incredible. If there's one way to get people interested in this streaming service, is you give them the hottest property they've got at the moment, and that is the MCU.
Yeah, exactly right. And I was really, I guess I still am quite frustrated with Disney for trying to make a new streaming service. Like, just use the ones that are already there. But as you said, this is exactly the kind of thing. If them having their own streaming service means that they're going to invest the kind of money that it takes to make a Loki television series or a Scarlet Witch television series, okay, I can see the value now.
Yeah, and they're saying that the budgets are going to match, big standalone films. So, they're going all in on this. Each series could have 8 to 10 episodes. And as you said, they're going to bring the original talent back, which is even better. Like, there was no way I was ever expecting this, especially to have, the actors from the films come in and do a TV series. There was no way I ever thought that would happen. So good on Disney, and good on the actors of actually, doing both as well.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for the Defenders on Netflix because they're not going to get anywhere near this kind of treatment. But yeah, I just want to know where it picks up for Loki. Like, it's just going to show his story of after Thor 1 and between Thor 1 and Thor 2, or the Avengers, or is it going to be like a prequel before Thor 1? Like, I'm really keen.
Yeah, either way, look, we really don't know if Loki is actually dead or not because he has died so many times previously at the hands of Thanos. So, I would definitely go with what you're saying. I think it'll be more of a prequel than anything else. There
is that theory, though. I don't know if you've seen the video. Somebody's isolated the part where Thanos is holding Loki, and apparently, and I've looked at it, it actually doesn't look too bad. There's a shape that's moving in the background. It's like a silhouette that's sort of like watching the scene. And if you look at it, it kind of looks like Loki wearing that big horned helmet that he has.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a possibility that, like, he's actually that's him in the background projecting. We'll see the other version, perspective, maybe kicking off Avengers 4.
Yeah, and I think his death was way too quick in that film anyway. I think for a character that's been as long as him, I think we've got to have more screen time than what he got, and a better send off.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
And speaking of Avengers 4, the Russo brothers. They've been quite cryptic, and I don't know why they're not giving away the title of this film just yet.
It's because clicks, that's why.
It's been released. We've had the digital release. We've had the Blu-ray release. Now it's time to get excited for May next year. And it's not that far away when you think about it. And we want the fucking title of the new Avengers film. How hard is it? It's just the title. We're not asking for a trailer, just the title. But either way, the Russo brothers posted this photo, and it's a picture of Joe Russo typing at a laptop. And it says to look hard. And I personally couldn't see anything because I'm too lazy to look. I just prefer to wait and have, the internet trolls do my work for me. But some people have pieced together that in all the props, in all the backgrounds, there is the word Endgame in that picture. Hence, the title of the new Avengers 4 film would be Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, they've tried to piece this. If you go, please go and Google this because you'll see all the different ways that people have attempted to make it. Like the clearest one, there is clearly an A in the frame because somebody's just put a ladder underneath the spotlight, so you can clearly see that.
And the next E is pretty clear as well.
Exactly, and there's an E there as well. And then other people are going a little bit crazy with like everything in the image is some kind of a letter. And I've actually worked out the code. So if you go to the image, you can clearly see the letters E, H, and this is in order from left to right. E, H, A, 0, backwards H, A, E. So it's clearly going to be Avengers E-R-H-O-N-E. I'm excited to know what that means. I assume it's like another language, but I'm keen.
You never fail to disappoint me, my friend. Never fail. Even if no one else laughs, I fucking love that one. That was good. I love it.
Go check it out, because a lot of people are stretching reality hard to make their theories fit in for those images.
Yeah, I admit, when, like, you can see the E, you can kind of get the N and the D, but when they did the G, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break. But it does make sense that it would be the title Endgame, so that would be really cool. But, the G was the one that got me. That was quite funny. All right, over at Sony, we know they're trying to launch their own contained universe, and they're doing with the first film, Venom. Now, it's expected to open quite big in theaters. They reckon, hopefully 60 to 70 million. Might even push that if the reviews are good. But something really pissed me off, and that's the fact that they gave it a PG-13 rating in the US, which will probably be an M rating here in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, that just means you're not going to be seeing any gore, are you?
No, by the looks of it. No.
He's going to eat people and it'll just happen off screen.
Yeah. But the part that shits me the most is that, they've got this character and they want to set him up, but they're more concerned about how is he going to fit in with Spider-Man.
That's true.
So that's why this film had to be a PG, because they could never put Spider-Man in an M or R-rated film over in the US. So that's the part that really disappoints me. Rather than just focus on what they're doing with this film and making this film as good as it possibly can be, they're more thinking about what the next ones are going to be. So that's why I'm a little bit shitty about this rating.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I respect that. And funnily enough, I was just speaking to my wife Jackie about this, and she is somebody who has less than zero interest in comic books or movies of this nature. I can't remember how we got onto the situation, but for some reason,
this podcast.
Yeah. Oh God. If anyone sees her, please tell me I still love it. No. For some reason, she listened to me for the 15-minute rant I had about the fact that that they're making a Venom movie without Spider-Man. I gave her the full background of the Spider-Man and Venom and how they intersect, and how ridiculous it is they're making a Venom movie without a Spider-Man in it, etc. And at the end of it, she was like, she said, "That's really dumb." I assume that she's talking about the movie and not about my rant.
She's like, "How have I had two kids with you? I don't know."
Or she's just like blurred out my rant and she's actually just substituting her own story. Well. But the point is, I see it. Yeah, she gets it.
Yeah, look,
I choose to believe that.
I understand what they're doing, but as I said, try and make the best film possible without having to worry about how it fits into everything else.
That's exactly right. That's DC era. That's rookie era.
It is a rookie era. And speaking of Spider-Man, I don't know if you've played it or not, but you have to get your hands on the new Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 4. It is incredible.
April 16th, 2017, I went into my local EB Games and I had the PlayStation and the Xbox One on the wall, and I was making a choice.
Oh, no.
And I chose poorly.
Oh, no.
I know. I chose the Xbox, and since that day I have regretted. Not because I don't think the Xbox is a good console, but a friend of mine who has a PlayStation brought it over and brought the Spider-Man game with it, and I have never been so happy. I have 2 children, and I've never been as happy as I.
They're like, "Dad, look at me, I can juggle. I don't care, I'm swinging through New York City as Spider-Man."
Yeah, what a great game.
One day I'll make you proud, Dad. One day.
Papa. I'm like, don't talk to me until you can port Spider-Man to the Xbox. Get out of my face.
Or work hard enough to buy me a PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. All right, over at MCU time still, it is rumoured that Guy Ritchie, who last couple of films haven't been great, to be honest. He's produced and directed Mad from U.N.C.L.E. and King Arthur. Both of those were relatively bad flops, but they're looking at him to possibly direct and produce a Captain Britain film to fit into the MCU. Yeah,
which I think is cool. Like, look, Ritchie or not, I just think the inclusion of Captain Britain would be very, very interesting because, and again, some of the nerds out there might correct me on this, but my understanding of Captain Britain, he's very much linked in with the magic element. Like he's, yeah, so he could fit in. Like, I'd love to see him, linked in with Doctor Strange. I think that he could be the expansion of that side of the magical side of the Marvel universe. And look, if Guy Ritchie wants to do it, I think he's got a great vision.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thoughts? You're not sounding sold.
I loved his early work. Like, I was obsessed with it when I was going through my filmmaking days. I would watch Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch over and over again. It was just so good. But then he turned a little Hollywood for my liking, and he did his Sherlock Holmes, and they made a lot of money, so they kept giving him other properties that weren't that great. So, he's got a hell of a talent. Whether he's got the right property to do that here in Captain Britain, who knows? But I'd love to see him return to form and what he used to do.
Yeah, I quite like the Sherlock Holmes films. Like, I thought they were just stylized enough that it was helpful to the story. But again, as you say, like, very Hollywood.
Yeah.
And look, that's great for a tentpole Marvel film. Just a little bit different enough to keep people interested, but similar, but familiar enough that it's not going to drive people away.
Look, as I said, it's still a wait and see. They haven't released anything in terms of what they're doing in Phase 4, but they're saying, this film could possibly fill a slate in the year 2020-21 era of the MCU.
Everyone's saying space is the next place, but I'd like to see some more magic as well.
Yes. All right, you mentioned before the Defenders over at Netflix, and I got to say, that series kind of put me off all of those characters. Like,
yeah.
I didn't go back to watch the...
Iron Fist?
I did watch Iron Fist, sorry. I didn't go back and watch Luke Cage. I didn't go back and watch Jessica Jones Season 2. But there is one that I will come back for because it's the one who started it all and I still think it's their best character to date. And that is Daredevil Season 3 has officially got a release date and it is October the 19th.
Which is cool. I'm a fan. I will say, before we move on, go and watch Jessica Jones Season 2 because I loved it. I know some people didn't, but I thought it was really fantastic. I think it's highly worth a watch. But I'm super psyched for Daredevil. My question is, do I have to watch now the Defenders and the Iron Fists that I haven't watched in order to make sense of this new Daredevil series?
Well, I would go on YouTube and find like a synopsis video
of
good
Defenders,
because apparently this season of Daredevil 3 does pick up where the Defenders left off. I won't give anything away, but there was a bit of a holy shit moment at the end.
Oh, okay, cool.
Kind of self-sacrifice.
I'll look up a summary. So, but I don't have long. October 19th.
You got a month.
Literally a week after my birthday. Hint.
Okay. Hint taken and ignored.
It was more from my wife.
Well, while we were gone, the sad news broke that Danny Boyle had been fired or he left to the James Bond franchise due to creative differences. They're also going to throw away his script and start again. But this week they have announced that Cary Fukunaga, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so excuse me, will direct the new James Bond 25. Yeah.
And look, I've only really seen True Detective of his work, but look, I think he's a pretty switched-on cat. Yeah. I'd be interested to see his take on Bond.
The first season of True Detectives was pretty incredible. If you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. I think it is on... No, it's not on Netflix. It was a Foxtel show.
Yeah.
But if you can get your hands on it, it's fantastic. Season 1 was really good, and that's why I'm excited for this. He was supposed to direct it as well, but he also left that for creative differences, and it kind of worked out well for both involved, because it was a massive switch. So I'd like to see what he does with this property.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I'm just more interested in the fact that they're still they're going ahead with the Bond. I didn't think they'd ever stop, but it just goes to show that the wheels are still turning over there.
Well, I did see an article during the week that Henry Cavill now could possibly play a James Bond.
And look, he would be to step out of Superman into Bond. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. He did play kind of like a secret agent in the new Mission Impossible film that came out last month, and I've got to say that film was pretty damn good. So, I definitely could see him take on that role.
I still want to see Gillian Anderson myself, but look, I can understand if they wanted to go with an actual British man.
Yes, I think that's the right way to go. All right. One of the properties that we grew up loving was the Die Hard franchise. The last couple films have been pretty shit, pretty much. I don't think I'm going to get
Justin Long didn't do it for you?
No, not at all. I thought, especially the last one. The last one was really bad. But either way, they're going to pump out a 6th Die Hard film, and it's got a title, and it's just going to be simply called McClane.
Yeah. I think that not only will this film not be great, it will make the other films worse.
Man, you have got no hope for this at all, have you?
No, not a lot, which is a shame because it's one of those, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm sounding like an old man, but I do think that some old titles are worth revisiting. I even think that maybe Die Hard is worth revisiting. I don't necessarily think it's worth revisiting in this way because, from my understanding, and look, the film's not out yet, but they're gonna like heroize McClane, and the whole point of the original is that he's just a guy.
Yeah. He was just the wrong place at the wrong time.
Exactly right. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, so they've kind of taken the title from the Logan film, just a simple title. And it's believed that this will have a Godfather 2 type approach to it. They're going to be jumping back between, a young John McClane and old John McClane. So Bruce Willis will still be in it, obviously the old John McClane parts, and they will probably get a new actor to play young John McClane.
So they're not going to Marvelize him.
No, but that would be pretty cool if they could, to be honest.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's probably too much, though. He might be in the film too often to make that viable, but that'd be really cool.
Yeah, but they'd have to give him, hair again, and it would be pretty expensive, I would say.
I got the perfect casting for young John McClane, though. The man that everybody wants to see cast in big-budget projects, Idris Elba. He could do it.
I think he's the same age as Bruce Willis, so I don't know how he's going to play it.
But he's such a good actor.
I know he's such a good actor, but still, wrong age demographic.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
All right, you'll do it as normal. He always holds himself on this show. All right, I didn't like it or love it. I thought the first one was really good. The second one was really poor, but we're going to get a third Kingsman film. But the weird part is they've already slated November 2019 as the release date. Now, that's not long. Usually films take 2 years to make and finish. So if they want to get this film out in time, they want to get a cracking on.
Maybe they might have already been doing it behind closed doors.
Well, they're saying no cast or plot details have been revealed, but Matthew Vaughn has already teased a third film earlier this year, saying that when he wrote the second one, he already had a third one in mind.
Well, let's hope it's very different than the second one.
But there's no reports yet whether we're going to get the same characters. There's rumours that the third one will have some young, cocky son of a British duke and an older man as the leads.
Okay.
Yeah, so, whether they're going in a completely different direction due to the bad publicity and bad reviews that they got from the second one, I'm not sure, but they could be going in a different direction.
You'd have to. If you want to keep making these movies, you need to change what that second one was, because it was a bad movie, and that makes me sad, because as you said, the first one was really great. Yeah, it was. It was so out of the blue, and it wasn't what I expected, and it was a really nice surprise, and unfortunately they couldn't carry that over. Alright, well, during the week, last week actually, I showed my son the table scene from the Nutty Professor film with Eddie Murphy. Were you punishing him for something?
No, much like me, he's a big fan of dick and fart jokes, and he was rolling on the floor in pure laughter, and I thought to myself, it's a shame that we don't get to see more of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's true.
He was on such a hot streak during the 80s and 90s, and then he turned out some really bad ones, in the 2000s. And I think it's time that he comes back away from the voice of Donkey in the Shrek films and back on the big screen. And it looks like I'm going to get my wish, because he's going to lead a remake of the new Grumpy Old Men film.
What?
Yeah.
Who's going to be his offsider?
Well, I don't know if you remember the Nutty Professor films. He played 6 or 7 characters, so there's a good chance that he might play both of them.
No.
Would be... No.
Stop it.
Murphy will... Well, actually, it says here, Murphy will play one of the feuding seniors in the story of a lifelong battle between neighbours that gets worse when a new sexy female neighbour moves into the street.
Oh.
Yeah. I would actually like to see him play both of them, to be honest.
No. Idris Elba, I'm just saying. Do it.
See, that could work. They're the right ages, so...
Yeah.
But then again, Eddie Murphy wouldn't be that old, so I'm guessing
He's 57.
That they will have to kind of dress him up a little as an old man.
Maybe. 57's pretty old.
Yeah, well, depends who you ask.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Look, I'm down with it. Eddie Murphy's hilarious. That movie is good. It could make an interesting remake.
Yeah, I'm not really getting much love from you from that one, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
just go watch the old one.
Yeah. All right, well, coming off the hot success that was Black Panther, Ryan Coogler has put his name to produce on a new film that I'm really excited about. I remember when it was mentioned a while ago, I thought it was the perfect choice, and that he's going to produce the LeBron James-led Space Jam 2.
Yes! Finally!
Yes.
Now, I reckon that's the sequel we've all been waiting for.
Yes. LeBron James hasn't been on the screen since 2015's Trainwreck with Amy Schumer, and I got to say, he pretty much stole the show in that film, to be honest. So I can't wait to see him do his own thing. He has moved to Los Angeles to play with the Lakers, so this is perfect timing for him. I'd assume that filming will take place during the NBA break, so I think the season is just about to start again, so we possibly could be looking at, later in the year they could start production on this one.
That's a shame, because I was kind of thinking that they might be trying to integrate this into the MCU, and this is how we defeat Thanos. We get Bugs on there, we get Roller Bunny, they challenge Thanos to a basketball match. It works.
It works. I'm sold.
And LeBron, of course. And I'm sure Michael Jordan will be making some kind of a cameo in this movie.
I hope so. I hope there's like a passing of the baton over to LeBron James.
And hopefully Bill Murray.
I actually watched it recently with my kids, and my God, the acting in that film is horrendously bad. I remember watching it and loving it when it first came out, but now sitting back and watching it, poor Michael Jordan, thank fuck he could play basketball, because he ain't got much acting chops. I couldn't say that much.
What did your kids think?
They really liked it. They really liked it. Yeah, no, as I said, it was a winner then, and I still think it holds up now if you just disregard the acting.
I just hope that because the last film they really did a big crossover between animated and non-animated characters was that Looney Tunes one with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
And the interactions between the animated and the non-animated world was terrible. When you look at a film like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's seamless, that's what they need. They need to go back to that, because look, they're going to digitize the characters. They're going to look amazing, but unless it looks like they're in the same world, why bother?
Actually, speaking of which, I forgot to put it on our sheet. I don't know if you saw the new Mary Poppins trailer. Did you see that this week? That looks like it's integrated animation from the first film, Mary Poppins film, into this one. So I was really excited to see that they brought those elements that made the first one so unique, and something we really hadn't seen done so well in the first Mary Poppins film back into this one, what is it, 30, 40 years later, if not longer.
Yeah, exactly right. And they've gone 2D animation. They've gone, from understanding, old school.
Yes. And even Dick Van Dyke is in it, so it's a win for me.
Look, I'm keen. I think it looks really good.
All right, that's the movie news for the week. I just want to quickly talk about some films that I've seen while we've been away. One really good one, if you can get your hands on it, is a film called American Animals. It's the true story of 4 guys who decide to rob a library of very expensive books. They're shot in such a way that it's almost a film and documentary at the same time, because they were able to get the 4 boys who did it tell their story while telling the story in a feature film look. So if you can get your hands on that one, definitely watch that one. If you're a fan of the He-Man toys back in the 80s, and if you're the same age as I am, you probably had these. It's a documentary called The Power of Grayskull, which basically spoke about the rise and fall of the He-Man toys. They also told that story in a TV show that Sean and I both like, The Toys That Made Us, but they give a more detailed and more explained look on the He-Man series. And a comic book series that I loved when growing up back in the 90s, The Death of Superman. They've retold that in animation form, obviously called The Death of Superman. That was really cool too, if you grew up in the 90s and were into comics as like I was. I don't know, you might have been a bit too young when that one came out, because I was in primary school, so you would have been in your dad's balls probably.
Yeah.
But so you might
have...
have...
time for me.
Yeah, you might have missed that one, but... it's definitely worth a watch if you are into that type of film. All right, well, that wraps up another episode, another movie podcast. I am Sean Pierce.
And I am Sean Kelly.
And I won't say until next week, because who knows when we'll do another show. But until next time, have a great week.